Use hashtag trade to get your questions on the show. We're going to answer your trade-related questions here on NFL Daily. Send us your proposals. Send us players you want to see get traded. Send us good trade ideas, bad trade ideas. Tom and I are here for you. So send us your trade ideas by using hashtag trade.
Now, before we get into our mailbag, we want to remind everyone that NFL player-themed face masks are still available. Chatsports.com/player mask. Some of the biggest name players have these themed face masks. Mahomes and Kittle and Drew Brees. The full assortment is available at chatsports.com/player mask. And to make your lives easier, we're going to put that link in the comments and we'll put it in the description as well. So all you guys have to do is click that link, pick your favorite team, and see what options they have available. They also, by the way, as you see on screen, have some rookie-themed face masks for all you Dolphins fans out there or Alabama fans. We've got some Tua Dolphins ones. So go check out the full assortment, chatsports.com/player mask. All right, it is hashtag trade time from Caden. Cowboys trade a second for Poyer. He means Jordan Poyer, the safety of the Buffalo Bills. I think the value's right, Harrison, but Buffalo's trying to win games.
Yeah, I don't really get that. The Bills are in win-now mode. The AFC East is up for grabs for the first time in what seems like forever outside the season Tom Brady missed in 2008. I don't really get that one there from Kate.
All right, Jeff Rodgers here says trade Carr and a third for Aaron Rodgers.
The Packers say, why? They got guys. Let's make this very clear. Trading Aaron Rodgers after this season is a decent possibility, but they're not trading him for another quarterback.
Yeah, it's
because they have Jordan Love.
Yeah, the Carr doesn't do anything for Green Bay, and not only that, a third as the main selling point, that's a complete non-starter.
Yeah, even if you include Carr, it's got to be Carr, a first, and at least another second, right?
All right, so who gets traded first right now? Is it Yannick Ngakoue? Is it Leonard Fournette? Two players for Jacksonville who have been heavily connected to trade rumors. Harrison, what do you think?
Yeah, we'll make this the pinned comment on today's video as well. YN for Ngakoue, LF for Fournette. I think it's Ngakoue still. I don't see a team trading for Fournette at this point unless there's a significant injury in camp, which could happen, of course. But I still think it's Ngakoue, although it could seep into the regular season.
Like Harrison said, this will be the pinned comment. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and cast your votes. All right, from Israel, and speaking of Ngakoue as well, he says trade him to the Raiders for a second-round pick.
Are you related? Let us know. That would be a steal for the Raiders. I still think the Jags are holding out for a first-round pick. What incentive do they have to take less?
They've got time. At some point they're going to completely ruin the trade value for him. The longer they go, the less they're going to get.
Are they, though? They can tag him again next year.
Yeah, but if they didn't trade him then, are you going to trade him now? So, I mean, I guess maybe at some point it's kind of like an upward curve where it gets better.
Look at the Jets, what they just got for Jamal Adams. And now, I'm not saying he's Adams, but if they can get 2 firsts and a third, you don't think the Jags can get a first for him?
I think they can get a first for him. I think the issue is right now is you can't restructure his deal. You have to take on his $18 million cap hit.
Yeah, and
that
makes it a little trickier. There's no doubt. But I don't think a second right now gets done. Maybe an in-season trade, Israel, but I don't think as we get into training camp.
Reverse Flash with an interesting idea. He says Bengals swap second and fourth round picks for CJ Mosely.
Second and fourth for CJ. Well, the problem is Mosley's sitting out this year. So
now, if by seconds, I'm not sure what you mean by swap. Are you giving up a second and a fourth for Mosley?
I think he's just saying swap both rounds.
They're going to be right by each other.
They're pretty similar, so why would the Jets do that?
It's creative, though, trying to capitalize on a player who's not available.
It is an interesting thought. Will any players that opted out be involved in trades?
Maybe not this year, but I think next offseason, because they still can't get out of the money that they're already owed. The cap hits stay the same, but next year you could see some teams trying to ship off guys with bigger contracts and salaries.
It's a good question, Reverse.
Yeah,
It'll be something interesting to track as we move forward.
Now, all of these questions are coming in on our live NFL Daily Show. We're live every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to be a part of our mailbags, where we answer all of your guys' questions, well, then you got to subscribe. That way you know when we're live and you can watch and chat and have a good time with us here. So if you're part of the 60-something% who have watched our shows repeatedly but aren't subscribed, guys, now is the time. Hit that big red button. I know we got new people watching every single day. We're going to keep you covered on all things NFL here, so hit that big red button and subscribe today. From HW, Bears trade for Dwayne Haskins, giving up a second-round pick. All right, Harrison Graham, host of the Chicago Bears Now. What do you think?
Yeah, go check out our Bears channel, youtube.com/Bears Now. You see it down below on the lower part of your screen there. Here's the problem. If you trade a second-rounder for it's twofold. One, if Haskins plays really well this year, his trade value is back to a first-round pick because that's when he got drafted. If he's awful this year and they're going in a different direction, you're not having to give up a second for him. It's probably like a third or a fourth at that point, I would guess. So I don't really think it makes sense. It definitely doesn't make sense for Washington because, or at least right now, they're going to see what they have in him. But I just don't see the Bears going in that direction. If they're going to get a quarterback for the future, it's probably coming in the draft next year.
Yeah, I agree. All right, from a RoboTap, Eagles trade a second-round pick, a third-round pick, and Rasul Douglas for Yannick Ngakoue.
If you're not going to give up a first for Ngaokue, it's got to be a volume trade like this. Mm-hmm. The problem still, though, is the Eagles are going to be drafting later in the round. So, I mean, you might be talking about like pick 50, pick 85, and Rasul Douglas for Yannick Ngakoue. I don't say yes if I'm the Jags.
I agree. All right, now we're doing #trade, but you can super chat as well, and we'll get you on the show like Mystic Rican did. Better to keep all of us safe for Raider Nation 2020. Tickets will be sold out. Will the NFL allow crowd noise pumped into empty stadiums? Also referring to the Raiders, they're not going to have fans, but the crowd noise part, Harrison.
You know what I'll say? It's twofold for me. I don't think it's worked that well in baseball. I've really enjoyed it in the NBA, though. I actually think it's been fairly effective with the way they've been able to do it with the virtual fans. I do think most stadiums will try to because they want to have some kind of home field advantage if they can. So I would anticipate them to. I don't think they've announced anything official on that yet, Mr. Rican, but I would expect in the coming days and weeks we would hear something about the Raiders' plans and, quite frankly, all NFL teams' plans this season.
All right, David Vilma wants to know who will win the Yak Attack, that's yards after catch, for those of you unfamiliar, this season. I assume it means for the 49ers specifically.
Yeah, he's asked us on the 49ers report as well to our 49ers host, Thomas Mott. I would put it for two guys. If I know how many games Deebo Samuel's playing, he's clearly the lead option. But Brandon Ayuk's a guy who could make things happen in space at Arizona State. He's a rookie.
Forgot about George Kittle. It's
sure.
Kittle.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking receivers. Obviously, it's probably going to be Kittle. If you take tight ends out of it, I think it's Ayuk or Samuel.
That's fair. This is a trade-themed mailbag today, and two of the biggest players to be traded in quite a while, frankly.
Yeah.
Nuke Hopkins and Jamal Adams. So who's the better player? DH for DeAndre Hopkins, JA for Jamal Adams.
I love Jamal Adams, but I actually think it's clearer than most would think. I think it's DeAndre Hopkins.
Do we need him for 1 year or multiple years?
How about 3 years?
Okay, I think
I still say Hopkins. He's 27.
I'm going to go Hopkins, and I'm going to factor in positional value to be a coward.
That was what I was going to say. It's twofold. One, wide receivers are more important. Two, DeAndre Hopkins might be the best at what he does in the NFL. Maybe Adams is too, but when you factor in the positional value and I think what you can help or win in terms of like wins above replacement there, I think Hopkins can help you win more games than Jamal Adams can.
All right, Shanab. Denver trades for a right tackle. Which one is it?
Oh, man.
Yeah, great
Who are
question.
some right tackles that could even be had here for a trade? I look at swing tackles, right?
Yeah, here's the root problem with trading for an offensive lineman who you're going to have heard of. NFL teams aren't 3 deep at tackle. Like, they're barely 2 deep.
If you're trading for a right tackle, he's probably not a starter.
Yeah,
on that team.
So, I mean, maybe you can call Tennessee and see if Dennis Kelly could be able, but they just re-signed him. So maybe the Giants decide Cam Fleming's not their guy and they go with Nick Gates. Like, it's a tricky spot. So I think for Denver, unless they go really cheap, maybe free agency makes the most sense for them.
Totally agree.